There's a lot of talk right now, a lot of rumblings around the Nebraska Cornhuskers and their potential chances of making a bowl game in 2023. Vegas came out with their over-under win total for Big Ten football teams and what they expect for them. They put Nebraska's over-under win total right at 6 games. So Vegas is saying, yeah, Nebraska's in that bowl game conversation. Former Nebraska linebacker and now current co-host of Bustin' with the Boys, Will Compton, came out and said he believes Nebraska will be back in 2023, and then went on to say he believes back looks like making a bowl game. So how would that happen? We're going to talk about the schedule when we get a little bit further into this. We're probably going to do that on a live show, so make sure you have the bell clicked on this channel to be notified when we do go live. We'll break down the path for Nebraska to making a bowl game. But what I want to talk about in this video specifically is internally. If you're putting the blinders on, and all great competitors do that, if you're just looking at yourself and self-assessing, what would it take for Nebraska to win a bowl game? It's no secret, Jeff Sims is going to be your starting quarterback. Transferring him from Georgia Tech, all the tools in the world, cannon of an arm, great athlete, big body, has a lot that you want to run this offense effectively from a skill set standpoint. So with Jeff Sims, the reason why I have his name circled, underlined, starred, highlighted, all that, is because him bringing balance to this offense is going to be a very big factor in them winning football games. Because Matt Rhule came on this show and talked to us about it. He's like, listen, man, Nebraska and we align in our ideals. I'm paraphrasing here. We want to block, want to tackle, we want to run the football. Want to be a physical, blue-collar, hard-hat, lunch pail kind of team. And you can do that. I believe that's going to be Nebraska's plan A, if you will. But what happens when you run inside zone right and you run power run left and you start to get some momentum there? What do teams start doing? Hey, coach, we're not winning with 7 in the box. We might have to go to 8 or 9 in the box. We're going to commit more resources to stopping your run game. So then what happens? The pressure shifts back to your quarterback, Jeff Sims, to execute. When they throw the kitchen sink at you to stop the run, can you make them pay? That's how you end up winning football games, having answers when teams take away your plan A. And I think Jeff Sims, with his feet, will ultimately help be an answer to when teams try to take away that running back room. But I'm telling you, with his arm downfield, that's going to be the straw that could break these defenses' backs. That's going to be the thing that could put him over the top. That's why I really am curious to see what we get from Jeff Sims from a consistency standpoint. I don't have a question about ability. Consistency is going to be paramount for Nebraska getting to that 6-win mark and potentially beyond. So Jeff Sims and his consistency downfield is going to be crucial. Can he run the offense? Absolutely. Can he run the football? Absolutely. Does he have all the ability in the world to throw the ball downfield? Definitely. But consistency is what we need from Jeff Sims to make a bowl game. Nebraska fans, lock it in right here. Now, we talk college football every single day. It's May, and you're watching a college football video. And we're talking about college football. We're cut from the same cloth here. Make sure you're subscribed. Also, follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, @JDPakel. A great way for us to involve y'all more into what we do here. I just love hearing from y'all on those platforms. So we appreciate y'all in advance for that. So in that same token, with Jeff Sims being able to do something with the physicality that you try to present running the football and being able to throw the ball off of it, there's got to be some improved physicality on the defensive side. Just has to be. It's one of the reasons why you brought Matt Rhule in. Trev Alberts said it. He's like, when they were hiring a head coach, when they were on the head coach search, he emphasized getting better in the trenches when they hired that next head coach. And Matt Rhule is exactly that. A guy who's coached all over the staff when it comes to his history as a football coach. But the defensive line, man, I promise you, there's a little bit extra pride on the defensive line for Coach Rhule. And last year for Nebraska, they were not up to par. You know it. I know it. Everyone in that locker room knows it. They allowed 190 rush yards a game. It's not going to cut it. Not going to cut it at any level of football. But in the Big Ten Conference especially, where you play the teams that are Iowa, where you play the Wisconsins, who will look a little bit different this coming year, but have a history of playing downhill, Michigan, we could keep going here. The Big Ten is a line of scrimmage league. College football is a line of scrimmage game, but especially in the Big Ten. That's how the sausage is made there, man. They play in the trenches. And if you don't have what you need to be successful, if you don't have enough oomph up front to get it done, like you're not going to have a prayer. And so for Nebraska, I think that there needs to be a mantra shift, to be honest with you. I think there needs to be an approach shift, and that's why you brought Matt Rhule in. So I think you can kind of pencil that box as checked. But then also personnel-wise, we need the guys that transferred in to step up here, because you transferred in for a reason. Transferred in because you believe there's an opportunity to make an impact. Elijah Judy, the guy transferred in from Texas A&M, playing the defensive line for you. I need him to step up. MJ Sherman, transferring from Georgia, playing linebacker. Need him to step up. Because approach is one thing, but in addition to that personnel, 190 yards given up a game, there's some personnel issues baked into that number, okay? So the guys that are now new to this roster, let's pick it up here. Let's help raise the floor of what this defense can be when it comes to stopping the run. I said it once, I'll say it again. You have to stop the run to be competitive in the Big Ten. Otherwise, you get eaten alive. I like the moves they made, obviously on the staff. I love bringing in Coach Rhule to be the head coach and to get that flipped around. But in 2023, to make a bowl game, it's got to happen fast. So finally, this is a point that I think a lot of Nebraska fans are probably sick of hearing, but we're going to do it one more time. Nebraska really could have made a bowl game the last 2 years. I mean, legitimately, they probably could have made a bowl game the last 2 years, and maybe Scott Frost is still there. Another video for another time, but you hear the point that I'm making there. The roster was good enough to make a bowl game, but what was it that ended up keeping them out of the dance? The dance being the bowl game, I suppose. Close losses. That's it. Over the last 2 years, Nebraska has lost double-digit ball games by one score. Heartbreaking stuff. Heartbreaking stuff, but that needs to change this year. Say, how do you change it? You get better players? Part of it. You scheme it up better? Part of it. Tell you what, man, when your culture is revealed, when your character is revealed, it's in the fourth quarter and you're down one score or you're up one score. And to be real with you, based on the results, I don't think Nebraska's culture has been in a place to where they're able to close those ball games. And I think that's what's ultimately lost them the games. And it's dressed itself up in different ways as, turnovers or blown assignments on defense or not making a play on offense. But what it comes down to is attention to detail and how you do the little things and your character internally. I'm not talking about, moral character. I'm talking about your character when it comes to a football standpoint. And Coach Rhule, I think, again, is the exact right guy for this job at Nebraska because of those are the things he majors in. Structure, discipline, doing things the right way. I think the culture is on its way to shifting. How far along is it? We're going to find out in 2023. I think the roster itself can play for a bowl game. Is the character at the same level? Is the culture at the same level internally at Nebraska to win those close games? That's going to be the key. That's going to be the key for Nebraska. So Jeff Sims and him being consistent, improvement in the trenches from an approach standpoint and those guys that transferred in, and then the culture to finish. That's going to be the difference, and that's how Nebraska is going to eventually end up making a bowl game in 23, should that be the case. But a lot being said about Nebraska right now. Like I said, over under 6 wins in Vegas is the number. Will Compton being asked about Nebraska, as I'm sure he often is, going to try and get him on the show. Will, if you're watching this, would love to have you on the show, so open invite stands there, brother. But listen, love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Make sure you're locked in right here to the On3 YouTube channel as we talk college football every single day. We're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.